So it's a good afternoon and welcome here to Bruce Purser. It's a late start. We've played about 7 minutes of this first term between the Sydney Hills Eagles and the University of New South Wales Eastern Suburbs. And already 2 goals on the board to the Eagles. And they lead by that margin. And very do or die. They go forward again now, the Eagles. And the mark almost taken, dropped. Comes out. And the Bulldogs, well, it's all to play for them this afternoon. It's a simple equation. There's no need to go into any mathematics or anything. They win the game, they're in the finals. And they lose, they don't play anymore this season. And it's a similar story for the Eagles. Not that much on the line, but a win today will ensure that they do not take out the wooden spoon for 2014. And that certainly will be a driving factor for them, I'm sure. A spirited affair in the earlier match, the one that took a little longer than expected in the NEFL, where the Eagles going down only by about 6 goals in the end, which might seem quite a bit, but it was against the Sydney Swans, who will be in the finals of the NEFLs in 2014. Comes out now to Jourdain. Goes back inside. They're just struggling to find a way through. Plant now with it. The Eagles have started with a real flurry. McKinlay starting to find some targets now. They go wider. Their tackle applied there by Scholes. Finally get it away. Now the Dogs go inside. A rare entry into forward 50. Bit of space opening up. Ball bounces awkwardly. And just caught out there on the way through. Costello. Short inside, good kick, well taken, and he's away. Trip coming, and it will come back. Kick will come back to Jesse Cass. Goes to a contest. Strong in the front, unable to take the mark. Here's foot, sorry. Baker. See him out here. Did the running in the NEFL game. So fitness obviously not an issue for Trent Baker. For again, good tackle applied. That was Cass again. They go across and the minor score. 2-1 now, the Eagles. They lead the Bulldogs, who are yet to open their account. With so much on the line. Very slow start from the Bulldogs side. Comes in now. Looking on this occasion for Rowe. Unable to take the mark. The ball will go out of bounds. Very muddy and boggy in the middle of Bruce Purser Reserve this afternoon. But the outfield is sensational. Despite the rain that we had throughout the week, it has come up an absolute treat. And they go forward again now, the Eagles, off the boot of O'Connor. Good work at ground level. Comes back out again. Now in the arms there of Pearce. He puts it high. And a good mark taken. That's Ryan Rowe. Sorry, Fletcher Rowe. And now they're in a bit of space. Tackle Blyde. And pursuit there was Madden again. Danaher in there, some good work there from Joel Robbie, but the free kick comes, it goes to the Eagles.
Good work, Jimmy.
Short kick over. And the Eagles on the attack again. See something inside he likes. And there is Baker. In fact, it's O'Connor. Sorry, Costello. Get it right eventually. Oh, could have been high. In is. Caught him by the collar. And the free kick coming the other way now. Good tackle by Danaher. Just a little bit of comedy capers there for a moment. Now the Bulldogs have got a bit of run. They go forward again. The target on this occasion was Cummins. Couldn't quite get there. Eventually out of bounds and will have a throw in. Rivers comes on for the Eagles and Kafalis Could he be playing his final game, or is there some more in the tank for the veteran? Time will tell. I'll say it a few times this afternoon, but they are desperate for a win, the Bulldogs. A win will see them jump Sydney University on the ladder and take part in the final series in 2014. Madden in the ruck, wins this one forward. Plenty of Eagles in the area, but it lands in a Bulldog's arms. They go forward now. Keel pushes off his man. That had to bounce the right way. It didn't. Running through was Danaher, puts it through the goals. They got there first on the board, and they needed that, the Bulldogs. A better bit of run from the University of New South Wales eastern suburbs. And it was Danaher who eventually finished off. He comes to the bench for a rest. Back in the middle now. Bounced by the umpire. Madden goes out to Costello. In fact, it was Savage. Back to Savage. Just sets himself for a kick inside. Tackle applied, a heavy one. And the umpire will have a close look at this, and eventually he'll blow his whistle and put it in the air. Comes back down. Costello doing a ton of work, ground level. This time it was Plant, got the handball, just quite hit the target. Well, this game being played in the forward half for the Eagles. They go back, Scholes. In fact, that was Pearce. And the kick across is found Wharton. Wharton goes short inside 50, looks for something, and it chopped off. Some good reading there from Plant. He'll just settle things down for the Bulldogs. Goes short, not a great option, chopped off. And the shot on goal is offline. Just a minor score, 2-2 now, the Eagles. They lead the Bulldogs 1 goal. Margin 8 points in favour of the home side. Luff sets himself for this one, very strong in the air. And Troy Luff, the veteran, he'd be very keen to see his team in another finals season. Pushing back there was Goodison. Kick forward, not a great one. Chopped off by Drinkwater. Baker now short, playing with the boundary line. Bradley goes inside to Savage. Got runners. Weighs up his options now. Decides to go long. Plenty of Bulldogs around this one. And taken by Luff. Goes inside. Rowe. Cross goals. Unable to take the mark. Bond it was that applied the tackle. And not sure who's that wearing the 15. Check that up. Change to the team list that we were supplied. Archibald. Bulldogs under enormous pressure at the moment, and a tackle applied by Costello, and the Eagles have got the ball. Goes inside. They set themselves again for an attack. Player on his own. Now they go inside again, top of the square, but back there is Archibald. He relieves the pressure through Luff. Luff goes central. And Woods goes inside. Now Plant using a little bit of pace. Gets around his opponent in O'Connor. Now with Danaher. Around the corner, can be such a dangerous player for the Bulldogs. Eagles defence standing tall at the moment. And just rushed through by Rodman. And the minor score. 7 points the margin. We've played 17 minutes first term. And it's in favour of the Eagles. We'll be getting our graphics up at quarter time. As we said, we do apologise for the delay in the stream. Unavoidable, unfortunately, with the Neefle game running overtime. Go down the line now, Eagles. Chopped off. Back inside now. The skates on there was Plant. Just lost his footing. Now tied up. Comes out the back of the pack and a quick kick gets them going forward. Almost a mark taken there by McAnaspy. And Keel swoops on it. Just pops it up, but no one there, unfortunately. Having to spin around Hupfield. And out of bounds on the full, so they'll get another opportunity, the Dogs. It goes short, and Scholes, very strong, takes the relieving mark. You can see the signal. He wanted to go long. That's what he's done. Gone to a contest at the back. Nearly a mark could have been paid, but they're away now, the Dogs. Drive it in quickly. They've got players around this. Keel from the back of the pack almost took the mark. Comes down. Off the boot there of Cummins. Has a shot on goal. I think it's good. It is. They've got another one, the Dogs. They trail by 1 point. Some good work there from Keel. I thought he might have almost been given the mark. But it was Cummins who swooped. And eventually got it through for the major score. They seem to have got their the game started a little bit now, the Dogs. Very slow to get underway. But a couple of quick goals and they're back within a point. Reset now. Mara in the ruck for the Eagles, up against Luff, the utility. Luff with a good leap. No one really gets the ruck, but Mara with the ball eventually comes down. Away with its Drinkwater. Goes wide, almost the one-hander taken there. And that occasioned by Nichols. Does his own roving as well. In there is Danaher. Kafalis was always lurking. They get it through the Drinkwater again. Mark not taken. It's Cox, I believe, up forward. And a pretty scrappy affair in the forward line for the Eagles. And it's the Dogs who come away with it. We said 1 point the margin in favour of the Eagles at the moment. They started beautifully. Kafalis. His kick will come back with interest. Just a little bit too much on it for Savage. Gets around his opponent like he was not even there. And drives them forward. Going back with the flight. That's great courage by Plant. And affects the turnover. Hands from Goodison. Now they're pushing forward again. Quick kick. Almost the mark taken. And wrapped up. We'll have a ball up. It's Bond. And lively for the Eagles. Comes off the boot. Quick kick out of the ruck. I think it's gone through. It has. Didn't see who kicked it. Looks like it might have been. Well, there's an interesting one. O'Connor. An interesting celebration for that one. They get one, another one, the Eagles. They lead by 7. A very good start from the Eagles. As I say, a lot of focus put on the Bulldogs this week to see if they can win it and win away into the finals. But don't forget the Eagles just playing for pride. Wooden spoon is theirs for the taking at the moment, but a win today could avoid the embarrassment. Of course, a lot happening in the Sydney AFL as well, with the Eagles pushing down back into the Premier Division as their top side, dropping out of the NEFL in 2015. So, historic day on some accounts here at Bruce Purser Reserve. The final NEFL game. Kafalis now for the Dogs. Over to Danaher. They link up well. Short. Almost the 15 metres. Go backwards to go forward. Pascoe decides to go through the middle. Some good running. Dogs have got a few players in open space at the moment. They need to be a little bit tighter, the Eagles. Comes back in Woods and chopped off. That was well done by O'Connor. Now, a one-on-one contest. In there is Rivers. He's troubled out of it, and the Dogs come away with it. Off the boot of Robbie. Inside, no one to take the mark. Good attack at the football, that's Arndt. And the free kick against him. A little bit tough, I think. But either way, it's a kick to McKinlay. And right on the edge of his limit, I should say the limit of his abilities, I would think. Happy to be proven wrong. McKinlay comes in, decides to square up at the last minute. The Eagles there, and they will take a comfortable mark. Wharton. And they spread. Costello. Inside. Bradley. Goes backwards. A few changes to the Eagles side. Catch up on that at quarter time. A number of players named who ended up in their NEFL side this afternoon. Farrelly drives forward. A little bit too much on it for McKinlay. Some good work from behind from Cam Arndt. And over the boundary line, we'll have a throw in. It's repeating. The Eagles lead by 7. We've played 24.5 of this first term. It's a very good start from the Eagles. They kicked the first 2. The Bulldogs pegged a couple back. And the margin at the moment, 7 points in favour of the home side. Oh, again, some good work. Nice pickup. He's under pressure now. Good contest, one-on-one. Player behind. The occasion was Pearce. His kick smothered off the boot. He goes again. Has a bounce. Umpire won't like that. And the free kick is coming. Not sure about that being played as a play on. He was in the same spot anyway. We play on. Good work from Arndt. And now they're away. The Eagles, they've got another opportunity. The handball over has too much on it. It might work in their favour. No, Danaher with pace. Pushing through again. It's Costello. Throws it on the right boot. And it's bouncing back. Bounces through. Goal! Late in the quarter, and the Eagles have spread it out to a 13-point lead. So it's the Eagles by 13, late in the first term. As we reset in the middle, bouncing goal. Bounces beautifully for the Eagles on that occasion. And we restart in the middle. Wrapped up in the tackle, umpire will come in and ball this one up. Ideally love another one here, the Eagles. A 19-point lead going into quarter time would be a fantastic result. They lead by 13 at the moment. Wrapped up in the tackle. Plenty of players around this one. And the Dogs with a big kick out of defence. Falls nicely for Williamson. Under pressure. Just got it clear, and the siren sounds. So at quarter time here, Bruce Purser Reserve, it's a good start by the Eagles. They lead by 13 points, 4-2-26. The Bulldogs playing for their season, 2-1-13. We'll take a short break. We'll be back. We'll get ourselves composed up here, and we'll bring you all the action from the second quarter shortly. It's AFL Sydney Live.
Maybe. It's on YouTube. I haven't been doing this because no one buys them. I haven't been doing this because no one buys them. All right, no dramas. Okay. Okay.
about set for the start of the second term. So Eagles by 14 points. We're underway. It was a good start by the local side. Really got the jump, and then a couple of late goals as well. And this man's been dominating. Costello out of the middle. His kick just affected at the last minute. Good smother from Mara. And they get it going forward again, the Eagles. Unable to take the mark in the forward line. Good hands there. Brought in by Cameron Arndt. Pushed forward. And the kick dropped off at the last minute. But the kick out is not a good one. They won't be happy with that, the Dogs. And it'll be Scholes to take the kick. Testing him. He's having a close look at it, that's for sure. Not an easy angle here at Bruce Purser. The breeze is probably blowing straight into his face. Brings it around. Has it got enough on it? No, just offline. Minus score. And they reset. Short kick. Effective. Robbie. He goes short again. Plenty of leads. Presenting. Plant. Back to Robbie. Goes short. They're just maintaining possession. Not a bad option. Current circumstances. Foot. No Central. Still not out of the 50. Plant once again goes wide. They haven't cleared the 50-metre zone. They will do so now off the boot of Henderson. Almost a turnover. Nichols over on it, and here it is. Savage swoops, and the kick inside's a good one. He's found Wharton, turned his back. The umpire now calls play on. So under a bit of pressure, goes forward, set for the mark, couldn't take it. And the Dogs relieve some pressure again, but they are being absolutely pounded at the moment as they go forward, the Eagles. McKinlay, bounce doesn't favour him, just sits up on the second. Back to Williamson. Good handball, picks out a teammate. Back to McKinlay. They've worked it well down this near side. Shot in looking for and finding Luff. He's played back, he's played in the ruck, now he's swooped forward. And he got a shot on goal for the Bulldogs. Much easier kick, you feel, from this end. Breeze just dropping down for a moment. And Luff comes in, gives it a little bit of air, it doesn't come back. And the minus score, 2-2 now, the Bulldogs. Trail the Eagles by 14 points. They're outside 50, but it's McKinlay there for the Dogs. He will put it straight back in. On the lead, Luff, in fact it's Keel. And swooping was Rivers. Kick short. Just need to settle down coming out of defence. The kick comes back across for Savage. Such an important player for the Eagles. Good kick. He's found Arndt. Cameron Arndt. His kick, McKinlay swooping across the front of the pack. Couldn't take the mark, but got in there and spoiled it up. Nichols now. Short through the middle. Too much on it. Sits in between two. Almost sharked. Good enough. Go forward. The Bulldogs. Oh, nice push there. Keel. Strong. Just got rid of his opponent in McPherson. And took the mark at his bootlaces and will go back and have a shot. Just need this as a settler. The Dogs. Keel hasn't been the surest in front of goals in the games we've seen so far. Taking his time in this one. Measured approach. Looks good off the boot. Just gonna get inside. It does. And the Bulldogs get another one back. Margin back to 8 points now in favour of the Eagles. Don't need to mention it, but it is the final round of the AFL City competition. We head into the finals as of next week. And one place up for grabs, and it's the Bulldogs who have the chance. Comes down. Sharked out of the ruck, but unable to get the boot to it. But they go forward again. Cameron Arnott at the front of the pack. Nichols almost takes the mark. Gets it through. Good handball through. There's a Scholes. Just pops it over offline. Every opportunity there. That would have been a great clearance goal. Archibald will kick in. Dogs playing very much a huddle at the 50 arc. Kafalis now breaks. Goes one way. Long at the back if they can get there. Pascoe was the target and takes the mark. Just set himself back off the huddle. Did Pascoe, and he was perfectly spotted. Bradburn. Down the line, and Scholes from behind. Make sure that one goes over the boundary line. Williamson in the contest. Plenty of rotations here coming on for the Eagles. Scholes in the ruck. Pushes it back. Danaher in pursuit. He is set upon. Good handsball inside. Another good. That was Zrillik. And right underneath our position here, we'll have a boundary throw in. 7 minutes played, second term. Eagles by 9 points. It's been out as far as 14. Not much in this ruck contest. A lot of people standing around. Now they set upon the footy. McKinlay, quick kick, doesn't get clear. Costello was held, umpire didn't see it. Gets again, goes again. Could have been felled by the knees. They settle, and good kick forward. Mark, all the play on was Baker, just chips it over the top, Blackco style, and it sits nicely. Now popping it up. Bond in there for the Eagles, unable to get the mark, and was through for another behind. 4 goals, 6 now at the Eagles. They've certainly dominated the scoring opportunities. Much of the game played in their half of the ground. So, dangerous kick. That could have been 50. Umpire benefit of the doubt on that occasion. Kick goes across. Good crowd sticking around here at Bruce Purser, of course. Final home and away game, and the final game for the Eagles this afternoon. Take the mark on the occasion. Costello, he's just been pouncing on everything that's loose. He has been the difference today. His kick is beautiful. And the Eagles set up again. Short. Baker. Goes inside. Finds Pearce, but umpire calls free kick holding the ball. Took my eye off it. And Williamson now with it. In fact, it's not Williamson, Henderson. He goes wide. And they work it short. Williamson. Goes long. Oh, good kick, good mark taken by Danaher. Now Danaher goes. Looking for Luff on the lead. Couldn't bring it in. Costello with the tackle now. He does it all. And it'll be a boundary throw in. Approaching the 10-minute mark, second quarter. Eagles by 10 points. Oh, big push there in the back from Farrelly. Allowed to get away with it. Kafalis, he wraps up Costello. It's Willing at ground level. This one pops up nicely. Can they run onto it now, the Dogs? Just in amongst it is Savage. And stops the run. But it'll come back as McKinlay's taken the mark. And he looks like he's set for a shot on goal here. Wind just as it is now, blowing straight across the ground. So it will be a little bit of left to right. Gives it a bit of air. Won't be a score. Off hands now. Work to do at ground level. Wharton, good handball out, gets it back. Another touch for Costello. Inside. Good transition by the Eagles, although Archibald comes away with it. Umpire calls a free kick play on. Danaher. Robbie. Ugly looking kick, but effective. Gets it to Foot. Foot, stop, drop, roll. Couldn't get around. Gives it back now. Straight through the centre of the ground they go. Looking on this occasion for Farrelly. And unable to take it in. It goes over the boundary line. Some scenes here. I look down to the left of where we're broadcasting from. It's both Kevin Eno and Terry Mudge standing right next to each other, opposing coaches who will face off in the final series. And the umpire will have a close look. The call there as he dragged it in. The umpire didn't agree. Reset. Comes in now. Opportunity for the Dogs. The umpire's sent a free kick here. It's high contact. And there's the opportunity that they were looking for. Madden can't believe it. There's plenty of players around it. Packed form. It's Jourdain who got the free kick. We'll see this one from a good angle. Sideways run. Just don't feel you get yourself settled when you run sideways and kick the feet out like you just did there. Either way, just the minor score. Margin back to 9 points. Charles goes short. Finds Rivers. O'Connor goes long. It's a good kick. Well weighted. Cameron Arndt. Oh, kicks in the man on the mark and gets away from him in the second opportunity. Goes back. The tackle's a good one from Plant. They've turned the ball over now. Plant goes again. Just dishes it out. Farrelly. And just Eagles. Scholes. She would have heard. Now with Drinkwater. Stops. Gives a bit of space. Now with Savage the chance to run onto it. Gets around the opponent. Just felled him. Got him to his knees. Has to go back and get it. Did very well to get it up. Baker drives them forward. The mark's taken. Some good work there from Savage. Equally good from Baker to back up. And the mark has been taken by Hupfeld. Lyndon Hupfeld will have a shot on goal. You'd have to back him in here. Just 10-15 metres out. Straight in front. Is to put the margin back out to 15 points. And Lyndon Hupfeld's done it. And the Eagles lead by 15. Very good work there in defence. They set up well, the Eagles. Scholes was able to take the Farrelly kick, which was just quickly taken out from the back of the pack. And they worked it through the middle, and eventually Hupfeld kicked the goal. So it's the Eagles by 15 points, nearly 15 minutes played, second term. And I've got to think that the Bulldogs at some stage have to understand the gravity of this afternoon's game. the middle. Luff now worked into the middle, up against Madden. No one really wins it out. Madden at ground level. Just pops it in clear. Danaher now pushes it back. Trying to find a little opening. Kafalis overruns it. Could be high. Umpire said he ducked into it. And we'll reset for another ball up. Players emerge. This time Luff just worked under the ball. Baker trapped up by Danaher. Umpires given the opportunity to say he didn't really make a genuine effort, but gave him the benefit of the doubt. So there's plenty of Sydney University boys watching this game closely, just trying to get a handle on whether or not they warm up the boots for another game next week, or they warm up the right elbow and enjoy a season that was. Go forward. Again, the Eagles under pressure. Get his way around his woods. Goes forward. Scholes at the front of the pack, strong. Under a lot of pressure from Farrelly. Just stood his ground. Took a good mark in defence. Goes for the kick's a good one as well. Perfectly placed for Zrillik. Plays on now. It hasn't really got an option, so he just decides to run. Gets himself an extra 15 metres. Goes long to a contest. Unable to bring it down, but they're there with numbers, the Eagles. At the ground level is McKinlay trying to rub it forward. There's a free kick being given. It's going to go to the Dogs. McKinlay will take it. Goes short to Robbie. Robbie goes to foot. Get it back. It's this kick that's been troubling them. And they might have found a way through. Kick comes off the boot of Cummins. Straightens up, looking for Luff. Just worked under the ball. Tried to play a little bit forward, to think. And Savage goes with the right. Might have too much on it. Has. Out of bounds on the full. Idea correct. Execution incorrect. Cummins will get the kick. And it'll just open up a little bit for him. They break now. Goes short. Not a bad option. Oh, the umpire's seen a free kick. It's going to go to Keel. Wasn't a lot in it, but Jeremy Keel will come up with the free kick. They need this, the Bulldogs. 18 minutes played, second term. Jeremy Keel.
Hold up, man. Hands up.
Strikes it well. How will it float? Just to the right. 3 goals for now. The Bulldogs, they trail by 14 points. Will Bradley to take the kick in. Breaks very early to Scholes. Bradley goes far side. Good mark taken by Wharton. Very young Eagles side. This has been all year. Of course, with their Neefel side being their first grade, if you like. That will all change as of 2015 as they re-enter the AFL Sydney competition. Farrelly works Madden under the ball nicely. Pounces does Costello. So we're quiet there for a little while. I'm sure if they've recognised that they need to shut him out of the game, the Dogs. Plant attacks it. Tries to give the give. The umpire signalled the wrong way initially. It was called a throw. I was confused when the arm went the wrong way. Plenty of support still here at Bruce Purser. This one's smothered off the boot. And eventually goes over the boundary line. There. And the Eagles now with a chance. Stops, goes the other way, does Drinkwater. Eventually gets a little kick away. And they've worked it well, the Eagles. They've looked good this afternoon. It's certainly not a team that is vying for the wooden spoon, you wouldn't think so far. Bond just loses his footing at the crucial stage. Has to get rid of it. Lands in front there of Bradburn. They go back now. Archibald unable to take possession. Almost rugby ruck like the ball came out then. Quick kick out of the pack from, I think that was Bradley. And just offline. 5 goals, 7 now. The Eagles plays 3 goals, 4. Been a long time between goals.
Sock, you're up.
O'Connor just chooses to go to the back of the pack. Danaher leads the race. O'Connor gives him a nice little shove to say, not today, sir. And then gains about 10 metres with the kick out of bounds.
When you can, well.
Eventually comes back in. Very open forward line for the Dogs if they're able to get possession. But the other option of that is they don't really have a lot across half forward for the quick kick out of the contest. McKinley's kick goes boundary weight. And kept in. Umpires just going to let this one play out. It's going to be out of bounds on the full. Been very good this afternoon. It's Pearce that's come up with it.
Hey, Sab, where are you playing? Huh? Where are you playing?
Oh, down back.
Scott Pearce will take a kick. A kick from just inside the 50 paint. Distance, you wouldn't think would be an issue. Just a little bit of right to left. And has he snuck it over? No. Distance was the curse. 5 goals, 8. They need to take opportunities when they come, the Eagles. 16 points the margin. 22 and a half played in the second term. Big long kick looking for Farrelly. And lands nicely in his chest. A lot on offer. Just has to play the options. Goes short. Williamson. Out of bounds. As you can see, it really didn't come into the... We've got a confused boundary umpire here at the moment. He's backed away from the pack. Just realised he's gone the wrong way. And 30 metres backwards for no reason whatsoever. The kick fumbled the mark. And now Kafalis goes in, just tries to steal it away. Eventually does. Dishes off to Danaher. Goes with a nice looking kick, but the spoil was up to the task. And that was Lockie Cox. And the ball goes over the boundary line. Gained some ground, the Bulldogs. Able to get some players back now in their forward line. Back themselves in to go forward again. As the siren sounds for the end of the second term. And it's been a good one for the Eagles. They went into the quarter with a 14-point margin. They come out of it with 16 points ahead. 5-8-38 the Eagles. They play the Dogs 3-4-22. The margin 16 points. And if the Dogs are to play finals in 2014, they will need to work out how they can get themselves in front and take the points this afternoon. That's the points down. We'll take a short break here for half time. Join us back here in about 10 or 15 minutes time. We'll bring you all the action from the second half. The Dogs are all ahead of them. Can they get themselves into a finals berth?
Shaky. Good shaky. Good shaky. Good peripheral vision, mate. Got kids. Know what's going on around the outside. Nah, it's alright. No, no. This is here for the move. I didn't put the out really for so playing it safe today. How'd you go yesterday? I didn't see the result yesterday. Brenton. It was 2 goals, 2 games, and he hit a goal. Yeah.
We won 7-7, 7-2,
Oh, okay. Righto. Yeah, that'd be nice, yeah. So who you set that yourself? You play Sydney or Newcastle? Sydney or falling in the finals by kicking 7 points in the game, or New South Wales or all over the line by coming back in the second round. That time of year again.
just about set here at Bruce Purser Reserve for the start of the third term. The story so far, it's been a good battle, and it's the Eagles who are on top at the moment. 16 points the margin. It's the biggest margin of the afternoon. And as we've said a number of times, all to play for the Bulldogs. Win today, and they grab a spot in the 2014's final series. A loss sees them bow out. And for the Eagles, well, not as much on the line, but still something in that they can avoid the wooden spoon with a win this afternoon. Underway in the third. Farless there at ground level, as he always is. And the umpire will come in for a secondary bounce. Mara, it is pushed under the ball on that occasion. Straight in, or umpire will have a close look at that and say no, that's not allowed in this game. Wharton with his head over the ball. Bradley now with the ball through the middle. Decides to go long inside 50. Bond makes a good contest. Almost comes away with it. Nichols eventually gets the handball and gives it off. They've turned it over again now. The Bulldogs coming through. Wharton again. Cox goes back to Mara. Mara goes forward. Baker unable to take the mark. Spills free. 2-on-1 contest, and the umpire's seen a holding. It's going to go to the one, and away with it goes Robbie. He's kick inside 50 for Keel. Gets around his opponent. Back there is McPherson for the Eagles. Wraps up Keel, and the umpire says, I'll have it. Keel almost turned himself into an open goal then. Mara, and there's a free kick on the play. It's going to go to the Bulldogs. It's another wraparound free kick holding off the ball, and it's going to go to Cummins. There's a couple of free kicks given off the ball by the Eagles, and now the Bulldogs have got a shot on goal. Cummins. Distance not an issue. It is a tough pocket to score from. And just pulls it left. Never really looked like scoring a goal. 3-5 now, the margin back to 15 points. And the Eagles get away. Go out to Costello, who's been such an amazing player this afternoon for the Eagles. He's really set up this lead so far. Now off to Drinkwater. He ends it off. And the Eagles transition this beautifully. Plant. Well, he's under pressure now. Just gives it a little handball away. And has to go again. In there again now is Williamson. And we'll have a ball up. 2.5 played. Third term. Luff. Moves this one down. Kafalis quickly out of the ruck. Just dribbles along the boundary line. Eventually goes out of bounds. Needful boys having a bit of fun. Luff with the big sweeping handball out of the ruck. And they've worked it well now, the Dogs. They go inside 50. Keel's the option at the back of the pack. McPherson did well. Now, second effort is fantastic as well. Costello up against McKinlay. McKinlay into his back. The umpire says play on. And eventually over the boundary line. And we'll have a ball in. Inside 50 for the Dogs. On the back there, Cummins just couldn't affect the hit out. Wrapped up in the tackle, have another one. Costello again. Now he's applying the tackle. comes away with it. It's on the left. Just been so focused on the football this afternoon. Unfortunately, it goes over the boundary line on the full. Danaher with the ball. Sun, an issue coming in. And then pops it up. Eagles there, but the Bulldogs at the back of the pack. Cummins off the boot. And the spoil makes sure it just gets the minus score. 3 goals, 6 now for the Dogs, but some better signs early in this third term. Bradley gets it out to Scholes. They've moved this well again, the Eagles. They're certainly not playing like a team who's really struggled to get them the 4 points this season. And the flip side, the Dogs, well, certainly not the intensity you'd think from a team battling for their season. Plenty of time to play, though. This one comes down to Danaher, inch close. Over it comes. Hupfield just playing a little bit of soccer. The boundary umpire was caught a little bit behind there, just to grab a bit of assistance from the central. Approaching the 6-minute mark of this, the third term. Margin 14 points in favour of the Eagles. He's down Rowe in the ruck on this occasion. Trying to work his way through there was Cameron Arndt. Now back again is Rowe on the bottom of the pack. This will be closely looked at. The umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt. And we'll have a ball up. About 25 metres out from the Eagles' goal line. Touched over the top. Not a bad little ruck work that. But they swoop, the Eagles. Drinkwater tries to get it off the boot. Goes back to Costello. Goes inside again to Arndt. He's under pressure. In fact, it wasn't Arndt there. It was Rilich. Back to Costello. He dishes off somehow. And the ball goes forward. But there's plenty of Bulldogs around this one. And Plant relieves for the Dogs. Williamson. Henderson it was with a little kick over the top. Almost a turnover. Struggle it back. Pushing back with the fly of the ball. On that occasion was Drinkwater. But now it's with Kefalis. The Dogs streaming. Go forward. Held his feet well, did Keel. Just wants to sit up for him now. He's got an open goal in front of him. He can just find the handle. Taps it back inside nicely. Goes back to go forward. They have a shot now. McKinlay at the back of the pack slurking. And might have taken the mark. In fact, he has. He's just signalled to the bench. Oh, he's just playing silly buggers. Swings around. And just telegraphed that well. In fact, he has got a problem. He's got a, looks like a dislocation. Might have worked in his favour. Close look at that as it comes off. Nothing desperately wrong with that. But the trainer is where he is. No, don't swing it around. Little finger on his right hand. Serious pain, but it's back in. Fantastic work by the physio there. Just picked his target. Just carefully put that one back in. That was surgeon-like. Either way, the Dogs are back within 8 points. All ahead of now the Eagles. What can they do? The Dogs are coming. Madden again appeals for the free kick, not forthcoming. Luff from the defensive side. Sends the ball around. Scholes in a chase to the ball there with Williamson. And Danaher helps out. Oh, the big show. Nicely done. Now looking for Keel. Once again over the top. He's got an open goal, but good work from McPherson. Matches it with pace with Keel. And we'll have a boundary throw in. It's a fair effort by McKinlay. He's doing a fair bit of pain with his Little finger dislocated. He's able to still swing around and kick the goal. Bradley trying to get out of the defensive zone. The Eagles off the ground there. O'Connor. Wilson forward. Under pressure now. Good work from Williamson. Stepped around his opponent. Kafalis unable to take the mark. And then runs out of space. Ball up. Approaching the 10-minute mark. Third term. Hills Eagles by 8 points. 5-8-38. The Dogs 4-6-30. Luff almost to be in the back. The umpire says play on. Goes back towards Luff, but off the deck they go forward. Bond couldn't quite find the handle. He just pops it up in the air. Back there is Pascoe. Gives it off to McCannaspy. Under a bit of pressure now. The Eagles, Cameron Hart drives it forward. Bonds can run onto this one. In fact, it's not Bond, it's Hupfield. And just showing it for a little bit of pace. Going back. Good pressure. Affected the kick. And we'll have a ball up. Just outside the 50-metre arc for the Eagles.
Oscar.
Off at the back, up against Madden. Both fall to the deck. Savage tries to find a way through. Well, will come in and ball this up. Luff again, this time pushed out of the ruck by Madden. That one was a little bit too obvious. And they're away. Nickel gives it off to Robbie. Goes forward. Good ball movement, but getting back well. Eagles defence. Free kick. It's out of bounds. Ball will come back in. Plenty of talk. The Dogs seem to have lifted a little bit of intensity. May have been reminded of exactly what's on the line. They could be forgiven for coming here a little bit complacent. The kick off the boot there of Goodison. Touched over the line. Just the minor score. Yeah, half-time might have just been reminded of what lies ahead of them. And they've come out accordingly. Eagles, on the other hand, well, they can just hold on. Oh, good work there. That was Williamson. Comes inside for Jourdain. Goes short again, looking for Robbie, and found him outside the 50 arc. Too far out to score, you'd think. Goes short now, puts it out in front. That's a good kick and a good lead. Well placed by the captain, Joel Robbie. Cummins just had plenty of space to run onto it, and will go back and line up for a goal. Just to get them back within a point. And all the momentum at the moment is with the Dogs. Kick on its way, swings back nicely and goes back again. It almost created an S on the way in. Margin back to a single goal. Short from defence. Back now. They're in a little bit of trouble now, the Eagles. Not as easy as it was in the first half. There exits out of the back half. Bradley with the ball now. Handballs. It's interesting. Eventually gets to Scholes. Handballs back. So eventually they maintain possession. It might have been a turnover now. It is. Luff did well. Drives it forward. Back with the flight. And the mark taken by, there was McCannaspy. Hands off to Keel. Keel hands off as well. They line up for the shot on goal. It's going, it's there. And scores a level at the 13-minute mark of this third term. And the Dogs are right back in this. 5-8 apiece here at Bruce Purser Reserve. The Dogs have pegged back the margin. It was 16 points at half time. Now scores level. 14 and a half played, third term. The Eagles, what can they do to stop them coming? Madden and Luff will go at it again. Clash, no one's the real winner, but coming away with it are the Dogs. They get the clearance. They go forward. Cummins again the option. Sits up for him, just gets over his head. Scholl's in trouble, has to get rid of it. Now Cummins throws on the left boot. Yeah, plenty of players running onto this one, and it might even bounce all the way, just bounces away from goals. Their tackling is lifted, their intensity is lifted, and the Dogs are right back in this one. This one goes forward. The umpire will have a close look at it, and he's called it. Deliberate out of bounds. They go forward, and a kick coming for Danaher. So some cracks appearing now for the Eagles. A kick from about 40 metres out, Danaher. We've seen them kicked here. McKinlay, he's on the boundary line after a little bit of work on that finger. Doesn't look to be troubling him. Danaher comes in, gives it plenty of options. In fact, she sits up in the breeze. And coming away, McPherson couldn't quite get the handle. Trouble's back, and it's now wrapped up. The umpire will have to ball this one up. Need a goal, the Eagles, just to stop the bleeding. And Costello again out of the ruck, goes forward, sits up nicely for Bradley, handballs it through. A little bit of space opening up now, just needs to sit up. Eventually does for Rodman, but stolen away. Danaher drives forward, and a good mark taken. And McAnaspey, kick from it just outside 50, but he fancies his chances. This for the lead. Jack McAnaspey just steps over the line, gives it every opportunity. Has it got the legs? It has, just offline, but they have the lead. And the Eagles now, what can they do? A carbon copy, although only in reverse. This game so far was the Eagles who dominated the first quarter and the first half. And now the Dogs, they're really putting the pressure on. Off the deck from Drinkwater. Just don't seem to have the support they had. Hupfeld under pressure. And it's Henderson who falls the ball over the boundary line. Luff still going at it in the ruck. Could have been high. Umpire says play on in the ruck contest, or in the scrimmage at least. And as they unfold themselves from each other, they go again. Oh, Luff high. That was telegraphed a long way away. Knew that was coming. And the veteran just let the younger player in Madden get under his skin a little bit. Pushes forward. Bacon able to take the mark, but running on nicely is Costello. Drops on the right boot. They've got a little space now. I think this is Rodman. Goes short. Does. Trying to find teammate there in Pearce, but unable to do so. But they've got the ball in their forward half. And they've got an opportunity, the Eagles. O'Connor in the ruck now. Plenty of runners coming through. O'Connor gets it back on the outside of the right boot. Just hits the post. Scores even again. Bulldogs now out of a little bit of trouble. Good running on there from McAnaspy. He's got a little bit of space, has one bounce, can have another, has to kick now, does so. Under a bit of pressure. McPherson did well to be in front. Trying to get the ball clear. Once again, McPherson could have been high. Savage inside. Drinkwater goes lateral and finds Baker. Two bounces. And a good kick. O'Connor kicks in the man on the mark. And that there being Danaher gets the ball cleared. Trying to go to Keel. Under a bit of pressure. They've got back in numbers. McPherson. Hupfeld. Over the top. Into open space. Cameron Arndt decides to go lateral. Not a bad kick under the circumstances. They work it back. Try to find Pearce. Gets one hand to it. Can't bring it down. It goes over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in. They need to capitalise on this one, the Eagles. Scores level, 5-9 apiece. We're into time on in the third quarter. It's really set up for a big finish. Comes down. Plant in defence for the Dogs. Has a bounce. Has two. Got space to run in. Goes over the top now. Farrelly. His kick. Not a good one. Ends up in the arms of Baker. Baker finds Scholes. Pops it over to Hupfeld. Feel a little momentum shift at the moment. The Eagles controlling the football, and as I say that, in defence, the Dogs stand tall. Into a bit of space now. Danaher, the preferred target. Under pressure now as it runs his full distance and eventually gets it out to McKinlay. Showing no signs of that finger issue and beautifully passed forward. Just didn't control it. McKinlay butted up for a second effort. Farrelly just couldn't get the mitts around it, and Scholes draws the free kick. Baker. They need some of the experience to stand up at the moment. Ferson. Off hands. Popped over the top. Under pressure. Shrugs one tackle. Gets around another. He's gone now, Hupfeld. And the Dogs will have another opportunity to go forward. 22 and a half played, third term. Luff from way downtown. Decides to pull the kick. Finds Kafalis in space. And Kafalis will step back and have a shot on goal. His score will give them the lead. Going into three-quarter. As we approach the 23-minute mark.
33.
Tired bodies coming off. Another long season in the AFL City competition. Local chapter drives away. Kafalis. The umpire has not moved. Rock solid. Straight through the middle. And it's the Dogs by a goal. Five-9 plays 6-9. The Dogs lead for the first time this afternoon. Lead by 6 points. It's been their biggest advantage, at least, for the afternoon. Mara in the ruck for the Eagles. He's out ruck there from Luff. Seems to have lifted his game again. Maybe playing for a spot in the team as well in the finals. Kick out of the middle goes to Keel. That being Ed. He will have a shot. And as quick as you like, they could be 2 goals in head. Ed Keel, 24 and a half played. Siren will be imminent. There's a bit of right to left. Started it through the middle, pushed to the left-hand side. It's the minor score. They lead by 7 points. Scholes pushed back, just trying to give a little bit of experience in the back half. It's his full measure. Calls Bond towards him, goes over the back. Bond doubles back as the siren sounds. And at three-quarter time here at Bruce Purser Reserve, it's all set up for a big finish. The Dogs, can they fight their way into a finals berth? We'll wait and see. They lead by 7 points. The Eagles 5-9-39. The Dogs 6-10-46. It's all set up for a big last term. Make sure you stick with us here on AFL Sydney Live. We'll bring you all the action and we'll tell you who will be playing in the finals for 2014. as we get set for the final term of 2014. We know that the Giants, Manly Warringah, will have the week off next week. We know that the Pennant Hills Demons will take on St George in the finals. We know that Western Suburbs have a berth. What we don't know is who they will play. Sydney University currently sitting on 30 points, but 4 points this afternoon to the Dogs. We'll see them leapfrog, and it'll be Western Suburbs versus the Bulldogs. Who will it be in 2014? 1 quarter of football left to find out. Can the Dogs come away with the win, or will the Eagles cause the upset, and in the process they'll avoid the wooden spoon as well? They'll jump across on top of the UTS Bats. Plenty to play for both sides, and for the final time in the home and away season, we get set for the final quarter. The Dogs lead by 7 points. They wrestled that lead back and won the third term. 16 points in deficit at half-time. They came out on top by 7 points at the end of that quarter. Can they keep the momentum, or will the Eagles step up? Bounce favours Luff, but he gets crunched on the way through, and only to be told he has to do it all again. They reset. Luff and Madden. Luff wins this one down. Running player in Kafalis. They get the clearance, the Dogs. An early one would really set up the quarter. Goes forward, spoil comes. McPherson stepped up in the last couple of quarters. Gets it out to Bradley. Bradley's kick with Baker. Baker, nice little chip down the line. It's maintaining possession. It's Wharton. Over the top. Getting back on his plant. Tries to step inside. Gets slung to the ground. Get the momentum back though. And Bradburn with the kick. And the mark taken. And now looking for Luff. Luff with the big long one. Sets them up. Keel the option. In front. Takes a strong mark. And it'll be Keel to go back and try and slot the first one within the first 2 minutes. And take the margin out to 13 points. Jeremy Keel, kick on its way, just to the right. 8 points the margin now. Once again, Scholl's early lead, coming off the cross back look from McPherson. The kick's a very good one. Beautifully weighted. Goes short. And Drinkwater. It's out in front of a running Scholes. Work. Swinging back. Now they're inside 50. Set nicely. And the running player, Costello. Bond. Chopped off by Savage on the right boot. Sits it up. And just the minor score. And their first score in a while, the Eagles. We're going to lock this one in. Another beautiful kick. Pascoe. Dangerous, looking for Robbie. Worked under the ball. Onto it is Costello. He's been in everything this afternoon. Farless just couldn't bring that one in. Ducking through was Drinkwater. Gives it off, gets it back. Got a running player off the back line. That being Trent Baker. Kicks it forward and a good kick. Beautiful lead as well by Hupfeld. And he'll kick from just inside 50. This to bring the margin back to 1 point. Scholes coming to the bench. Problem with the left leg, it looks like. Matthew and Lachlan Cox. Meanwhile, Hupfeld. Come back. Lyndon Hupfeld. Nice measured approach, the young fella. On its way. And they'll ride it home. And they'll ride it all the way. Margin back to 1 point. Beautiful kick from Hupfeld. Some good work from Drinkwater across the middle of the ground. Saw the running player in Trent Baker. And the delivery inside 50 was perfect. Hupfeld finished off. So some class brings the margin back to 1 point. To the middle, and Madden and Luff will reacquaint themselves. They need a lift, the Eagles. They've got the momentum. They just needed that goal. Been a long time in between goals. Madden this time, but no one at home. Kafalis quickly out of the middle. Tough one to mark. And the tackler's come. Good work there from Rivers. Got the ball going forward. Now with Drinkwater again. Has some space through the middle. Pops it up. No one home. And it's Pearce that was just left on the goal line. Robbie read it well. Coming down now. Plenty of Eagles around this one. Popped over the top by Rodman. Inside. Has to get away. Arndt gets the handball, and it's a good one. Gives it off now. Gives it to Rivers. Rivers by hand. They need to get a kick inside. They're trying to do too much at the moment, you think. The Eagles, they've got to get it up. Now with Savage. Just pushed, and almost the mark taken. He's pushed as he kicked it, was Aaron Savage. Almost worked to their advantage. But eventually over the boundary line. Not a bad option. Sorry, not a bad result. Just two people forward of halfway for the Dogs. And this one, oh, he's in a bit of trouble now. Henderson slipped over. Just kicking in for him was Bradburn. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Question was asked about deliberate. I think that was a little... just a little bit too much laugh with the big thump. Just trying to get some space between the goals and the football. Savage works his way. Just don't want to go with the left. Goes with the right. Eventually smothered by Kafalis. And out of bounds. They'll come hard, you'd feel, the Dogs. The levity of what's on offer. Trying to extract the football from the bush. Not sure if anyone's actually going to find it. Yeah, now it comes out now. Danaher just sneaking forward at the moment. Cameron Arndt standing him though. So man on man in front of the ball for the Dogs. Luff brings this one to ground. Can't quite get it through there, Madden. Now Nickel. Inside. Think hard there was Bradley. Spins around on the right. Not a bad kick inside. Cleaned up well by foot. Luff just steps around as if he wasn't even there. And now out to McKinlay. Stay wide. Drinkwater in pursuit. There. That's a little speculative handball back to McKinlay. Gets there. And almost a mark taken. Some good work out of defence. That from Cameron Arndt. And a good tackle applied. Umpire was asked the question. Now Danaher with an opportunity. Swings around on the right. Opens up the goals. Looks forward and he's got it. It's a fantastic goal. Danaher out of some trouble and splits the middle. Margin back to 7 points. So the live ladder would show the Bulldogs taking on Western Suburbs next week. But still some time to play in this game. Just kicked into the 9th minute. Go back now. The Dogs finding a little bit of space. Pops it up nicely, looking for Keel. Sits nicely for him. McPherson now out of position. Good tackle applied. Umpire says holding the ball. And McPherson rewarded. He's done a good job on Keel. Now goes forward again. Looking for Zilic on this occasion. Under a bit of pressure now, the Eagles. Back to Zilic. Ran through the angles very well. Goes forward. Not a bad kick. Found Bond. Bond plays on. Inside 50 now at the back of the pack. Baker lurking. Can't take the chest mark. Savage off the left. And he's got it. Margin back to 1 point. Luff coming off now. You see on the left here, the limping on the left leg. Straight to the chair. Doesn't look in a good way. That won't help the Dogs. He's been a good contributor for them. He's in a bit of stress. 1 point the margin at the moment. Spot on the finals up for grabs for the Dogs. And they've had their noses in front a couple of times, but the Eagles just reeling them in once again. Margin back to 1 point. Out of the middle now. They're going to miss Luff in there. And there again is Costello. Nothing coming of it. We'll have a secondary bounce. 11 minutes played in this, the final term. Baker dishes off beautifully to Wharton. They go forward again. They've got the numbers, the Eagles. Savage again. Ugly looking kick going forward. Gives it to Hupfeld. Gets it back. They drive it again. A shot on goal coming. Has it got the angle? It hasn't. And margin is 0. Scores a level here at Bruce Purser. Blacktown just yet. We will be in the coming weeks. Farrelly. Through the middle. Just wanting to maintain possession. Foot gives it off. Tackle comes. Gets it away. Back. They've turned it over. Now it's with Baker. Sits it up nicely. Beautiful kick. It's found Pearce. And this to get the lead back for the Eagles. As they work desperately on Luff. It's the left ankle. And Pearce finishes off. And they get the lead back, the Eagles. They lead by 6. Just when you thought the Dogs might have got some momentum and looking to coast their way into the finals, the Eagles never say die. And they're back in front. Mara in the ruck for the Eagles. Luff still on the boundary line. They're trying to strap the left foot. It's not looking good though. Robbie just about to come on as well. Mara up against, on that occasion that was Rowe. So they've had to make some changes in the middle. O'Connor. Might have been O'Connor in the ruck. Lurking. Mara it is that'll take the ruck work. And now goes forward again. The Eagles in another inside 50. Sits nicely. The kick off there from Hupfeld. Goes forward. Doesn't score. And out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in. Call comes from the Bulldogs just to roll up. Pull some more players forward to the halfway mark. Just the one. Keel inside 50. A lot of space between him and the next player. Sits up Hupfeld on the right boot. Swings it around. Just the minor score. 7 points the margin. Comes back in, goes to the pack of players. Some good work once again from upfield. Lines them up again, can have another shot on goal. Goes home and hits the post. 8 goals, 13 now, the Eagles. They're doing all the attacking in this mid stages of the final term. Comes out, finds foot. Foot looks for McKinlay. Nicely weighted, finds it well. Steps inside, looking for Kefalis. He's found a bit of space. Doesn't help with the bounce. Coming through there was Bradley. Handballs forward, McKinlay swoops. They get it around again, but it's all Eagles in this occasion. Scholes just pulled off the ball by Danaher. Swings around one way, goes the other. They've got some space. Robbie just trying to find the handle now. Can't get it. Worked over the ball by Scholes. Nicely done. They go through the middle now. Well done from Savage. Presented well. They go forward again. Pierce the option over the back of his contest. Pierce there versus... There was Henderson. They get it back. Another shot from the Eagles. And it's home. It's a goal. They lead by 14. Some good work. You bring it back down here to Scholes, who worked well in defence. Savage presented. And they're making the most of their opportunities now, the Eagles. They lead by 14 points. And momentum definitely with the home side at the moment. Mara again in the ruck up against Rowe. All on the line now. Sydney University sitting at home, watching, waiting as the Eagles go forward again. This time it comes back out to a bit of space. The bounce favours, well, really in the end favoured nobody, as Scholes was back on it. Canasby and Scholes doing battle. Also in there it was Cass. Good hands from Arndt. Goes back. Tries to go back to Cass. Taps it back. Looking for Scholes. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Some desperate attempts with the football now. We'll have a ball up. Some tired bodies. Either way, Western Suburbs still none the wiser as to who they'll take on in the first week of the finals. Eagles really setting themselves up for an upset here. Some good work to push Kefalis off the ball from Drinkwater, but he eventually gets it forward, Kefalis. 2-on-1 contest. And they kill it over the line. We'll have another boundary throw in. 17 played, final term. Eagles by 14 points. They need 3 goals, the Bulldogs. And the way this quarter's panning out, it's going to be tough, but this will be nice. Robbie, short, just doesn't sit up. Keel leads the race to the ball, turns it around, gives it back to Robbie, and his kicks off line. 7-12, plays 9-13. Long kick out from the Eagles. Good option. There was plenty of numbers around it. Some cool head there from Baker. Just puts it into space and eventually goes over the line. And on the halfway mark. "18 minutes played." This one run down by Rowe, but it's the Eagles that come away with it. Trying to step inside. Almost stopped there to show that he had him around the ankle. Some good work from Wharton. Oh, the mark drops by Bond. Gets it back eventually. Gets it back to Wharton. Inside 50 now. Oh, great mark going back with the fly of the ball. Cameron Arndt. And he'll go back and have a shot. And Justice may just reward that courage for Arndt if he can just slot this one through. This to make it very difficult for the Dogs. Sydney University willing this kick through. Cameron Arndt Took a screaming mark and finished the goal. And the Eagles are out by 19. And the blood rule is the whistle. Nothing untoward. But the season's slipping away at the moment for the University of New South Wales Eastern Suburbs. They surprised probably even themselves to get themselves in a position to play finals this year. But with everything on the line here at Bruce Purser, it's all unravelling late in this final term. 10-13-73, the Eagles, the Dogs 7-12-54. And we're just about to tick into time on. And it'll be a great win for the Eagles and one to set up their post-season celebrations, that's for sure. Mara in the ruck, still going up there against Rowe, and he wins this one forward. It's always going to be difficult when Luff came off. He's still on the boundary line at the moment, not looking good. And they're inside 50 again. Wharton on the right boot out of, well, in fact, just snuck it around for a behind. 20 points the margin now. We're into time on. Luff warming up on the boundary line here, but it'll have to be a last-ditch attempt. Kick comes out, doesn't find a target. Hupfeld swoops onto it. Back there again are the Eagles. Just trying to find some space to go forward. The mark's taken. And the Bulldogs will leave a little bit of pressure, but they need to be at the other end of the ground. They need to score goals. 20 and a half played. Now called to play on. Just cannot find targets going forward. Take nothing away from the Eagles. They've been fantastic. They've showed the intensity that they probably haven't shown for the earlier parts of the season. And they, at the moment, will avoid the wooden spoon and hand it straight over to the boys from UTS. And that in itself will be a little victory for the Hills Eagles. Of course, they'll be dropping their NEFL side out of the competition next year and will be bigger and stronger in the Sydney AFL come 2015, that's for sure. Good work from Costello. He has been their finest this afternoon. And after 3 years in the NEFL, the Sydney Hills Eagles, it came off the back of AFL City Premierships in 09, 10 and 11. And they will be looking to come back bigger and stronger in 2015. At the moment, they are dominating the Dogs here at Bruce Purser. They go forward again. Pearce on the run. Goes through him. Excuse me. Upfield. Almost swung it around the corner. 22 played. You think the Dogs are gone now. Almost there, a mark to Scholes, one-handed. Shots it in front of Bond. He's tackled. Didn't get rid of it correctly. Correct call. And now the Dogs, well, not working out well for him. Matthew Scholes, been in the AFL City competition for quite some time. And he's played a great game this afternoon. Arndt swings around, straightens him up, and finds a target. Ben Wharton, and he will go back, and this for victory, you would have to think, if not already sewn up. The boys from Sydney University, well, they'll put their post-season celebrations on hold. They'll take on Western Suburbs as it stands at the moment. Wharton, measured approach, gets very close to the man on the mark and subsequently pulls it to the left. But you'd have to say they've done enough, the Eagles. It's been a fantastic final term. And the Eagles, well, not very often would they knowingly do a favour for their rivals over there at Sydney University, but on this occasion, happy to help out, I'm sure. The kick offline, it's all going wrong now for the Dogs. Bradley lines up. We've got numbers out here, the Eagles. McPherson It's not McPherson there. They get it back now with Arndt on the left. Straightens them up. Big mark, almost taken. Falls. They've still got a chance here off the boot there of Zrilic. And just a minor score. Hit the post. But every second is a second closer to victory for the Eagles. And the end of the season for the Dogs. Nichols inside. McKinlay, just a fumble. Gets it back to Nickel. And he's tackled, trying to get through. Plant, some good work. Brings that in. And they've gone forward again now, the Eagles. Costello pops it up beautifully. And O'Connor takes the mark. And it's all gone wrong here this afternoon for the Bulldogs. They were jumped at the start, almost came out a little bit complacent in that first half. Regained some composure in the third term and got the lead back. But a dominant final quarter from the Sydney Hills Eagles has seen them come away with victory and put an end to the season for the University of New South Wales Eastern Suburbs. They lead by 29 points, 25 minutes played, final term, and they will celebrate the win. So it's all set up for the finals in the AFL Sydney competition. As said before, it'll be the Manly Warringah Giants will enjoy the weekend off. Pennant Hills, they will take on St George. And the elimination final will be played out between Western Suburbs and Sydney University. Reset. Can't be long to go now. The sun finally dips its head down below the horizon. And the Eagles go again. Beautifully picked up by Savage. At his boot laces, drives it in. This is beautiful stuff from straight to Zrilic. And the local crowd, well, they're really enjoying what they're seeing. They haven't seen a lot of it in 2014. They'll be hoping to see much more of it in the subsequent season. But right now, just enjoying the moment. Zrilic comes in. Cross goals, but marks taken by Hupfeld. Denied by the boundary umpire. You can see some of the NEFL players in the background enjoying proceedings. Nickel to Rowe, off to Danaher. Kafalis, well, there's a story in itself. Played his final game in AFL Sydney this afternoon. Been an absolute soldier of the competition. They celebrated his final home game last week. They'll celebrate his final game this afternoon. Unfortunately, unable to come away with the points. Kafalis again at the bottom of the pack. Congratulations to Peter Kafalis. He has led this side so well over the years. And will rightly take his place as one of the greats of the Bulldogs side. Rodman, 27, nearly 28 minutes played this final term. Can't be long to go. They'll be hovering over the button. As they go forward, the Dogs. Problem for Keel, he'll be sore. Dragged it in. Umpire says, I have enough of that. So tick in to the 29th minute mark, 29th minute of the game. Been long quarters so far this afternoon. This one just playing out at the moment. McKinlay wants to move the ball quickly, but in vain you'd think. Danaher takes the mark. And we await the final siren. Disappointing for the Dogs. They would have come here with the belief that they could extend their season and jump into fifth spot. they've come up against a determined Eagles side. That's a great kick from Danaher as he gets it at one on the board. As the siren sounds here at Bruce Purser Reserve, the Eagles have caused the upset. They've ended the season of the University of New South Wales Eastern Suburbs, and we finally know who will be playing part in the final series for 2014. Commiserations to the Dogs. As I said earlier, they really surprised themselves, putting themselves in a position to really have a crack at finals. But in the end, it wasn't to be. And it's the Eagles who caused the upset. And as they do like to do here at Bruce Purser Reserve, Eagle Rock starts to play out. And they will celebrate their victory this afternoon, as little as it is. But don't forget, they now hand the wooden spoon across to UTS. And as their season ends for 2014, a new horizon for the Eagles as they enter the 2015 season. And we will wait to see what that brings. But today, they've been fantastic. They've run out 23-point winners over the University of New South Wales Eastern Suburbs. The Eagles kicked 11 goals, 17-83. The Dogs, 8-12-60. 23 points in the end. And a good win to the Eagles in their final game of 2014. And make sure you join us next week. The finals action will come to you from Blacktown Olympic Park, Blacktown International Sports Park as it is. And we will get to the business end of the season as the final series starts. As we said, the Giants will take the week off. They enjoy the minor premiership and the week off in the first week. Pennant Hills, well, they'll take on St George on Saturday. Sunday's elimination final will be between Western Suburbs and Sydney University. Thanks for joining us here at Bruce Purser this afternoon. We'll finish off here with an Eagle victory by 23 points as the finals begin. And as we say, bring it on, and we'll be there with the AFL City Live crew.